Hello everyone, welcome to Magical Me. I'm Jamie Mendez, spiritual intuitive and oracle, and this is my weekly Moonday Oracle Message. And this is a message for the collective and all those who may find themselves here watching, whether you're watching live or the replay, you are here in exact divine timing. This is going to be a reading for the week of January 31st, 2022. So I'm just going to give it a few moments and let people connect. Check my audio. Hi Dawn. Hello Maria. Happy Moon Day and welcome beautiful goddesses. Thank you so much for being here. How are you doing today? Sorry, I was just looking. Meredith, welcome goddess. Glad you could make it. Jillian, welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm so happy that you could all make it. I hope you're doing well and making the most of this beautiful and mystical dark moon today, and utilizing the energy of this dark moon to really dive into the unconscious, to really bring to light that in which wants to be seen. Oh, Dawn, I am so sorry to hear that, my dear. I'm sending you my love. How is the quality of sound, by the way, just before I go ahead and share this? Awesome. Thank you, Dawn. Perfect. All right, I'm going to just share this briefly. Hopefully briefly. Hey, Moniel. Welcome, gorgeous one. Thanks for being here. Perfect. Thank you, Meredith. My water tiger vibes. Are you referring to my necklace or the colors that I'm wearing today? Probably my hair. I just had this big old like lioness mane I've got going on here. If this ever wants to load. Both. Oh, awesome. I actually think, is this a tiger? I actually think this is a dragon. This is a necklace. This is one that you got me. It's a dragon. Same. Okay, it's finally loading. Sorry, everybody. Thank you. Thank you, Maria. Okay, I think I got it. Done. Hi, Donna. Welcome. It's a shapeshifter. Comes with the territory, my dear. No, I'm kidding. Awesome. Oh, the space feels so nice. So lucky to be here with you all and to hear your message, Jamie. Oh, bless you. And thank you for saying that. You know, it feels so nice because I feel like everybody who's drawn here, it's, yeah, you see me on camera, but that's why I communicate with all of you. I read your comments because it's really about bringing us all together into this sacred space. So, thank you for contributing to that. The energies that are drawn here are always so divinely complementary and beautiful. So I love you all and thank you for being here. Karen, happy Moon Day. Let's see. Alexandria, welcome, goddess. Thanks for being here. All right, with that said, I'm going to move right on into it. I do appreciate you all being able to be live with me today. And those of you watching back on replay, I appreciate you as well. And thank you. So what I'm going to be doing here today is really just bringing forward the Moonday message. I'm just going to briefly touch upon the energy that's going on, just because there's so much of it. Trying to kind of keep these short and sweet going forward, and then just incorporating the other elements of Moon Day, like the mudra and the empathy forecast with the astrology information, kind of incorporating that later on throughout the week. But because it's so relevant right now, I'm going to kind of bring it into the message. Welcome, Deja. Thank you for being here. So again, every Monday I try to go live to bring forward a message for the collective. And again, whether you're live or watching replay, you are watching in exact divine timing. So never late. And these messages always apply exactly when you find them and when you need to hear them. With that said, these are not personal, individualized readings that I'm doing here today. This is a generalized collective reading for all of us for the energy of the week of January 31st, 2022, and really what we all most need to know going into this week. So, with that said, today is actually dark moon, and dark moon energy is a incredibly potent time to dive into the unconscious within ourselves, or within what might be wanting to come up for us to research a little bit more, reflect deeper into, to really bring the unconscious to consciousness, to bring it into light, and to really shine that illumination upon that in which wants to be seen or acknowledged, or even developed more. So great energy for any sort of self-reflective work if you have the opportunity to do that today. Also, tomorrow is the new moon, and new moons are always a time of rebirth and starting over. It is when the moon cycle is reborn every month. So great time for forward movement, new beginnings, manifesting. So really planting those seeds of intention for that in which we want to create or bring into manifest. So great time for that. With that said, it is a new moon in the sign of Aquarius. So as you know, Aquarius is quite a potent energy, really anchoring in the energy of new earth or the fifth dimension, however that wants to resonate with you. This basically what that is ascended consciousness and ascended vibration for us all to tap more into our divine potentiality, to really free ourselves more from that old restrictions and paradigm that is just outdated, no longer serving us, and really has hindered us as a collective from our divine potential. So Aquarius has that energy of the visionary, of the innovative. It taps really deeply into the element of air. So it's really bringing forward that energy of tapping into the power of the mind. And again, not just the mind. And again, that could go both ways. As you know, the mind can also create a bit of havoc for all of us. But tapping into that power of heightened awareness, expanded consciousness, and then anchoring in this vision. As you know, Aquarius is also ruled by the water bearer. So it's kind of interesting. Back way before I knew anything about astrology, I never really thought that Aquarius had anything to do with air. I always thought it was connected to the element of water. But so with that said, I feel like it's the energy that pushes and moves. It's that current that moves the flow of water, if that makes sense, at least to me anyway. And so I can kind of see it how it is directing or divinely directing the pathways of the current in which the new wishes to flow. So that is really powerful energy to be linking into with a new moon at this time. On top of that, we have the 31st today being, or the 1st, I think, is it today or tomorrow? I'm always never sure if it's the 31st or the 1st of February. Either or, we've got the energy also of the Chinese New Year. So that brings in a whole new element. You heard Jillian kind of touch and comment on that water tiger vibe, because that is exactly the zodiac that comes forward for this Chinese New Year, the water tiger. So happy birthday to all of you water tigers out there. And again, really in the energy, also the sun is in the sign of Aquarius at this time too. So we've got moon and sun in Aquarius in the perfect alignment for Venus and Mars, which is the feminine and the masculine, moon and sun, feminine, masculine, that are actually kind of meeting up and coming together also tomorrow. So that's quite a huge turn of events there, really bringing in this powerful divine alignment between light and dark, masculine and feminine polarities within. I do feel like this is going to be the powerful rebirth and new beginning, also syncing up with the Celtic or Gaelic festival known as Imbolc, or the Festival of St. Bridget at this time as well. So really kind of syncing up with that, which also signifies spring and rebirth. It's kind of like the prepping towards spring, which comes in March. So very powerful time of new beginning. So if you take all of that, put it together in a cauldron, my goodness, the recipe that comes out of that is just next level transformative. And so there is a deep alchemical process occurring within us all now, as well as within the collective, that are making shifts and changes towards the new. So this is a wonderful time to get really deep into the power of your productive energy, to that creative inspiration that is pouring through literally right now, helping us to tap into ways to bring up newness to light. As the visionary, it's also kind of breaking away from the stagnant, breaking away from things that are no longer serving us, breaking away from where there is restriction and hindrance. So anything that has been corrupt, distorted, blocking, it's going to kind of be broken down with this energy. So you can see we're starting a brand new cycle, brand new pathway, if you will. All right, so that is a great energy for us all to tap into, work with, harness this week if you can. You've got the elements, or I shouldn't say the element, but I was going to say the element of fire coming in also. So that's interesting. Now I've got earth, air, fire, and water all coming together there with the Celtic goddess Bridget, or Breed. And she brings in the energy of the sacred flame, if you will, that soul fire as well. So there is this sacred initiative, activation, fiery, passionate energy also being ignited, not only within ourselves, and this is also going to be deeply motivational to move us all into that expansive energy that's there for us to really tap into, to draw more into, and to birth that in which is really wanting to be created through you, but also through us as a collective. So it's not just individually, everybody. There's massive shifts and changes that are going to be coming up this month, but also we're going to start to see some things, I think, this week alone. So we got all this redirecting energy. Venus just went direct. Mercury, I think, will be going direct at the end of the week, if I'm not mistaken. So we've got all of this energy coming up, and I think that's going to be moving all the planets this month into direct alignment too. So, wow. See why I had to touch on it. I couldn't not touch on it. So with that said, I'm going to get ready to pull the Moonday message, and I'm going to call us all into sacred space. Hi, Carol. Hey, Heather. Welcome, lovely ladies. Thank you so much for being present with us today. All right, so with that said, we're going to come into sacred space, and what that means for those of you who are new, this is really just about us detaching from the whatever energy we've got going on around us, the busyness, the chaotic energy of just life in general. As we are all connecting energetically and sharing space right now together, we want to bring that energy into a sense of serenity, into a state of peacefulness, tranquility, and purity. So just asking you all to close your eyes for a second. I'm going to have you take a nice deep breath in through your nose. And as you release your breath out of your mouth, focus on clearing and releasing anything that does not serve you. Any tension within your body, any stress or worry or anxiety within your mind, let it all go. Take a nice deep breath in. Also the theme for the week, by the way, letting it all go. And release. Once more, nice deep breath in. And drop your mind down into your heart space. And allow yourself to be moved, to tap into, to feel into the energy of your heart. And allow that to be what guides you throughout the rest of the day. And that's a wonderful practice, everybody, for us all to work with every day on a daily basis. If you have 5 minutes, just tap into that energy, pull yourself out of your head, come into your heart, and allow the rest to align. Okay. All right. So I was really torn on what deck to work with this week, but in the end, I decided upon the Spellcasting Oracle cards, and this is by Flavia Kate Peters and Barbara Mickeljohn Free. Okay. All right. So asking for guidance and insight for all those watching, tuning in at this time for the collective good for the week of January 31st, 2022, and what we all most need to know. Oh, yeah. What I also say the week was the theme of the week. I say, let it all go. The card is lighten your load. And I think that we touched a bit on this last week. And because the energy, I mean, this has really been a reoccurring theme for, I would say, probably the whole month of January, but very specifically the last week or two. It's gotten really potent, almost like it's coming to a head. And this is why, because at the moment of this new moon, and that alignment between Venus and Mars, and again, Venus going direct, this energy really is propelling us to make that break, to shift out of the old and really start to transcend into that new pathway, into the new direction, into the new earth, which it's already here. We're just in the process of continuously anchoring it and literally turning the lights on between every single person. You know, we're all kind of lighting up and being illuminated there, to really see into that higher perspective, or ascended consciousness, if you will. So lighten your load. It literally is what the card looks like. It's about letting go of all that feels heavy, of all that feels restricting. As you know, last week I kind of came out with that message immediately, saying that I would be doing things differently from now on, that I was receiving a lot of guidance saying that it was time for me to let go of some things that, you know, are really taking up a lot of time and energy, and find new innovative ways or productive ways to do the things that I love, or to do what's newly being introduced to me. You know, because again, as we shift up in vibration and consciousness, we are also becoming much more aware of wisdom, circumstances, energy that we are now able to fully comprehend, that maybe we weren't able to before because, you know, we weren't there vibrationally or energetically. And therefore, you know, we've had to go through some processes of really breaking down some things that are just becoming too heavy to carry. So that's going to apply uniquely to all of you, depending upon what it is that you're carrying that's too heavy. So, you know, you could be feeling like it's time to step away from people or situations that aren't working anymore. You know, you've tried, and it's finally like, instead of trying to continuously find ways to make yourself work at it, it's time to maybe let it go and find ways to make the best of your energy and your heightened awareness, or your new vibration, and what is coming in on that flow. So also at the same time, you know, this is, I hear really strongly for a lot of us, this is going to resonate with letting go of what you're doing for others, letting go of the weight that you are carrying for others. And, you know, many of us are empaths, and it is a beautiful blessing, although I know that many will say that it's a curse. But as that, here's the double-edged sword of it, is that we do tend to take on the weight of the world. literally. We tend to take on the weight of, our family, our spouses, our children, our friends, even the collective. And so it's really important for us now to get real, I don't want to say selfish, because that tends to take a different meaning for people, even though it is kind of where I'm going with it. It's time for us to get a little bit more, is this a word, individuated? Because that's what I just heard. It's time for us to come into selves and focus a little bit more on bringing us up right now, and stabilizing where we're going, stabilizing the new energy that's coming in for us all, versus trying to pull everybody else up. You can do that after you get yourself stabilized and situated in the new. But first and foremost, you got to get yourself there, right? It's that going back to that whole airplane. You got to put your oxygen mask on first before you put on anybody else's, right? So we're going to have to let go. And also, big one that you heard me talk about last week is we also have to learn to let other people learn for themselves, even if that means letting them make mistakes and watching, even though you know you could prevent it. It's not yours to carry. It's not your lesson to evade. They may have to experience some things, even if you know that it's not the best path, but might be part in how they get to the best path. So it's time to stop the enabling. It's time to drop the codependency. It's time to come more into our power and work on the selves. And the only way that those that we love around us can come into their power is by you stop enabling that codependency, right? So letting it all go this week. Also, there's a big also, collectively. I just had to let that go because I can feel it collectively in my heart. I feel like so many of us are worried about the outcome. So many of us are worried about trying to convince others to see the light. No matter what end of the spectrum you fall on, we're trying to convince others to see the light, but we can't do that. You've got to let them come into, again, it comes back to like your child, and you've got to let them see on their own. You don't have to agree. We can respectfully disagree, but we have to do what's best for us. So let go of that load, that heaviness that you're carrying, the worry, the fear, all of those denser, heavier emotions. If you can let them go, please do. Try to make your peace with them. I'm not saying just stuff them down and bury them. You've got to move them, get them up out of your energy field. Don't keep them within. So really letting go of the attachment to the outcome, because it's not in any of our hands unless we work on the self. That's the only way that we have control over anything that happens. It's by what we do for us, what's best for us, okay? So with that said, now we're talking collectively, the lightening of the load is going to occur. So there is some transformation. You heard me talk about the planetary alignments. It's part of that process that out with the old is going to also happen on a higher perspective, in a higher way, for a collective level, on a global level. There's going to be some releasing, and sometimes it takes a little bit of the breaking down to be able for it to be dismantled. So there is a lightening of the load that is coming, and that's going to allow for the stabilization of New Earth to fully anchor, or Age of Aquarius to fully anchor. So this whole year, the way that I see 2022 is I see this whole year as a process of stabilizing the new. So, the old is really starting to fall away. And this week, I think that we're going to begin to see a bit of that coming up. I think we've already been seeing it, to be honest. Since 2022 started, there's been a lot of it. There's a lot coming to light. Remember the visionary, the illumination happening, and the anchoring of that vision. So with that said, anything that doesn't align with that vision anymore collectively also is going to have to fall away. So we're going to see lots of shifts and changes, but those shifts and changes can be most benefited by what we do within ourselves, okay? So lighten your load. Let go of what is not yours to carry. Let go of those old burdens, the woundings, the issues. Come into that resolution. harmonic resolution within yourself. And that means making peace with it. That means forgiveness. That means compassion. Allow yourself to be free. Okay? All right, so I hope that that message resonates with everyone. I really do see this conscious illumination happening, and I see it being a little bit frustrating, even particularly a little painful, which means to me that that could be like an emotional pain. That could be a there might be a little bit of resistance in as far as what your beliefs go and how you are perceiving things. And there might be a little bit, for those of us who resist, there's going to be a little bit of shock value in that, because it's got to be broken down in order to allow you to see. It's not that anything is trying to cause you harm or hurt or challenge or difficulty, but, the best thing I can say is allow yourself to just surrender to the flow. Let go. As you do so, it makes that process so much easier. But again, there's always an element of something that we just don't want to see, or we don't want to let go, or we don't want to release. So that could be where it gets a little bit tricky, but I do still see that illumination happening. Also, with that said, painful, physically, I can feel like there's some ascension symptoms at the same time that are occurring. I know myself, I've been waking up on and off over the last couple of days, very achy in the lower back and in hip area as well. And it just really brought my awareness into the psoas muscle. And again, I'm not a doctor. I'm an energy healer, but I'm not a doctor. So I can't tell you what is what. Obviously, use your discernment. See a doctor if you need to see a doctor. But I will say my specific attention has been being drawn to the psoas muscle this week. Psoas muscle is a very not spoken of muscle that actually is like a rubber band muscle that kind of links around our hips and up over our pelvis area. And it's known as the spiritual muscle, or the most spiritual muscle, because it's linked into our old primordial origins. It really depends upon what you believe here, but according to what I read about the psoas muscle, is that it links into our old reptilian origins. So it linked in, and I don't mean reptilian in like negative, corrupted energies. I don't mean like that. I mean like our form, what we kind of were at one point, where, the psoas muscle actually linked the bottom half of the body to the top half of the body. And so it was at one point in time considered the brain before lower half and top half kind of merged. So there's this consciousness there. It also is located around the area of our sacral chakra, our hara, our womb, our creatrix center, which is the birthing area. And so when there's any awakening there or disturbance in that area, the energy trying to flow through the hara or the womb, because that is the birthing center. So this new energy potentially coming through there, as well as our hearts and our minds. But as it flows through, we naturally want to go into fight or flight survival mode, these survival instincts, and so that we feel resistance sometimes within our body in those areas. So something just to be mindful of. And if you're feeling any pain within your body, it's showing you there's a little bit of resistance and there's things that are being broken down. And so you can always just tune into that, tune into those, feel into what you're feeling, and ask to be shown information of what you could do, or actually what is even, what was there that might be causing a little bit of discomfort for you, because that'll help you to quickly release it, if you will. All right. So I hope that that makes sense to everybody. So it might be, again, with those ascension symptoms as well, as we literally get dismantled and then kind of starting to be rebuilt here. Hey, Teresa, welcome, gorgeous. Angel, welcome. Maria, Tracy, Joni, Eileen, Renee, wow, welcome everyone. Thanks for being here. I'm going to catch up on some of these comments before I head out. For those of you who just popped in, I'm kind of keeping the moon days short and sweet from this point forward. So I did go over a little bit of the energy forecast because it was so pertinent this week, because it's a big week, as well as anything that you messed with the oracle card that came forward. It will all be available on replay for you. Let's see. Hi, Flo. Welcome, love. Okay. Don't know if I said hi, Carol, but welcome. Heather says, I've been cutting people off left and right and center. Let go of everything that isn't bringing me peace, that has come in the form of things, people, work, ideas, anything that has been taking my time and not giving back. Good for you. Absolutely. You know, and again, these, sometimes it's unavoidable to that, you know, there's a little bit of like feathers that get ruffled during these releases. It doesn't have to be, but also, you know, you only have control over your part in it. So really, you know, you could like let go with love and compassion. And again, you know, you can't control the other person's reactions, but it is so, so important for you not to stay in situations that don't serve you anymore based upon fear. Okay? Not selfish, it's self-preservation. Absolutely, sister. Thank you. Alexandra says, feeling this big time lately. Awesome. Wonderful. All right, so I think that is it, everybody. I'm going to post the mudra right after this is done airing. I'll get that posted up on my page for all of you. And yeah, thank you so much for being here with me this magical moon day. I hope you all enjoyed the message. Sending you so much love and blessings upon this beautiful illumined new moon that we have, and this energy of Venus and Mars coming together. It's going to be quite an intense month. I'm going to say that. Okay. All right. Love to you all. Take care and thanks again. Bye-bye.